It's finally happening. The ones who trusted them are speaking out.
The idea you would cancel a disability hub to take revenge on this guy for not backing lockdown is shocking. But go back a couple of days and we have this. So this is where it all started, where the anger over these WhatsApp messages started, because Hancock, clearly suggests you use a new variant, which was the Kent variant, end of 2020, to frighten the pants off everyone. He says we've got to frighten the pants off everyone with a new strain. When do we deploy the new variant? Almost like it's a deliberate calculation. And I want to bring in somebody, friend of the show, Graham Taylor, who took the lockdown rules very seriously. And last night you got in touch, Graham, and you said you were absolutely disgusted.
Jeremy, I'm on the verge of tears with anger. I'm not usually an angry man, but, Matt Hancock, if you're watching this, you are responsible for putting the nation into fear. I did everything you asked for. I took your jabs. I stayed in at home. I didn't go to the pub. I stopped my family life. The kids didn't go to school. Their education suffered. And you've done this. It's a psychological operation against the people of this country. Jeremy, I'm just appalled. I've always supported the government. I, as a police officer, I was always told to obey orders, and I did. I've done everything in life to do what the government wanted. And now I don't trust them.
Good.
And, the conspiracy theories of 2020 are all turning out to be true. And for Matt Hancock to say something like he will block funding for children, it's just immoral, and the man should be put before the bar in Parliament, and if not prosecuted, because this is horrendous. It goes deeper and deeper, and what will more revelations show as time and history, turns on? What happened in that time? I lost 2 years of my life, and I am very, very angry, Jeremy.
So had he not done his psychological operation, as you describe it, you might not have gone into the deep lockdown you went into. Is that right?
We wouldn't. We sat in fear when Boris Johnson came on the television and in his Churchillian speech, said what we all had to do to save the NHS. And the NHS has been good for me. They've saved my life on more than one occasion. And we thought it's our duty to do this. Yet COVID was nothing more than a respiratory infection. More people were dying of the flu. We weren't told this. We were told that this was a killer disease and many hundreds of people were going to die. And we were shown the figures every day of deaths. And yet a lot of the COVID deaths are now being told that they were from other things, and COVID was maybe just a contributing factor. We were told Matt Hancock will put a protective ring around old people's homes. And he didn't. He just let them die. And we went along with it all. We were conned. We clapped for the NHS. And really what's coming out now, that this was just a political game. It was an exercise in population control. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm starting to believe a lot of what they are saying is true. And I'm a very angry man.
Thank you very much, Graham Taylor. Thanks for getting in touch.
Bloody nailed it. And what's frustrating is we saw all of this shit, and the people that they want to call conspiracy theorists, no, we're just people who have logical brain. I'm just going to say it. And we could see it. It was obvious. Mm-hmm. It was obvious. It's like, oh, we've got this, super huge pandemic that's super dangerous. Oh yeah, what happens to people? You get flu-like symptoms. What? So how are you supposed to tell the difference between the flu and that? That's convenient, isn't it? But I'm glad that this guy and people like him and the news now is starting to cover it, that it's actually all bullshit. But look at what they were able to get away with.
Now, here's my question. We know mainstream media will only do what they're told. They only cover what they're told to cover. Mm-hmm. So why are they letting this out of the bag? Because if we decided to talk about this and like 2 years ago, we would have been shut down, deplatformed. We would have been tarred and feathered in the street for even suggesting that quite possibly the government was doing a whoopsie doodle on us.
Right.
For even suggesting it. So why all of a sudden are they allowed to talk about it? Nothing like why? I'm just curious. What is the motivation? Because like this gentleman here, he's pissed. He's not going to listen to his government anymore. I sure as hell stopped listening to my government years ago. I'm not doing it. I don't care what they tell me to do. I'm not doing it. You lost. You shot your shot and you lost. Right? Like you completely lost my trust. And that actually goes for a lot of doctors out there. I've lost my trust in a lot of people because I feel a lot of these people knew damn well that it was a bunch of hooey, and they just told us what they were telling us because they still wanted to get a paycheck.
That's what it
Well,
is.
what about all those people who lost their paychecks because of this
Mm-hmm.
tomfoolery?
Yeah, it's just one big lie. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And whilst it's sort of like bittersweet for us now, because we knew all along, we could see it all along. We said this was bullshit, and now it's coming out that it is. People called us crazy. People called us, stupid and dangerous and all of those things. Well, the one thing they didn't call us was right, and that's what we are. We've been proven right now. But it's bittersweet because also lots of people have, been impacted, ruined, all sorts of things, injured, killed, which is very sad.
Yeah.
But in terms of what you said about why is the media now reporting on it? Why are they all of a sudden allowed to? I think it's possible. Is this whole thing just one giant experiment? The whole thing? So from start to finish? Because we know it was planned. The whole thing was planned back in 2019. We know that. But was it planned from then until now? Like, is it in the aftermath as well? So with the media now talking the truth, what can they get away with? Will anyone actually hold them to account in any meaningful way for what they've done? Maybe that's part of the test. Maybe that's part of the experiment to see, once it is released in the media that it was all a lie, will those people be held to account, or will they not? Seemingly
Or
not.
will people still believe in, like, because people quickly forget. Like, because we've been talking about, hey, remember when they told us this back in like 2020? Remember when they told this in 2021? Like, but people actually do forget. So are they hoping that people will actually forget? So when the next one rolls around, they know. I think this is just to see how far they can push people, how much they can get away with, and how quickly people forget.
Yep.
I think it's a
Absolutely.
huge dress rehearsal
Yeah,
for
I agree.
something else.
Yeah, but I hope it backfires if that is the case, I hope it backfires and that this actually does wake a whole lot of people up.
Yeah.
And go, so they realize, oh, wait a second, the government doesn't care about me.
Yeah.
No, government's never cared about you.
Yeah.
Ever. The government cares about its own self-interest. And Russell Brand said it really well the other day when he was on Bill Maher's show. He said, and I think on Joe Rogan as well, he said, if in this case, the pharmaceutical industries and the rich are the ones who benefit from a crisis, then expect to be living in a perpetual crisis all the time. Because I think Pfizer alone made $100 billion, or like it's just insane, absolutely insane. And then, who gets a lot of those that money? Oh, the politicians do, who make the policy to make us lock down. Oh, that's right. So yeah, I just hope that what's coming out now does actually wake people up for the next time it happens, and they go, I remember what happened last time. I remember that. So
yes, because a lot of people, like, they just keep chugging along, and then you get into a new kind of routine because nothing will ever go back, and whatever. But you get into a new kind of routine, and then all of a sudden something else, you forget what it felt like at first.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
It's been so traumatizing. And I actually read an article earlier today that said that the lockdowns didn't impact anyone mentally.
Bullshit.
Studies show, I was like, well, who did you ask? Because every single person I know suffered in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, what they did is they actually found someone with a legal name that is nobody. As in, it says, my name is Nobody Johnson. And they said, well, we spoke to nobody. And nobody says that they were impacted.
I love it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the only logical way, because I don't know who they were talking to. I don't know.
Well,
who
everyone
they
I
studied.
spoke to was like, these fucking lockdowns. Let me out.
But if there was one more lockdown, I know a lot of people that were just ready to,
But what was most damaging, I found, was your neighbor, your fellow people telling you, oh, get inside. You're doing the wrong thing. Get inside.
Yeah.
You're so dangerous. It's
Yeah.
like, fuck off, put your mask on. And if you want to have a jab, have it. And then shut up and leave me alone.
Yeah.
You do you. That's fine. You go and
Yeah.
be a sheeple. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm okay with it, but just you go over
yeah,
there.
Yeah. I'm quite okay right here.
Yeah. It definitely gave, what the government did was it gave everyone permission to shame and just
Absolutely.
really just police each other. And that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to police each other. We're here to,
No.
if you can't love each other, then at least just leave each other alone. It's that simple. But when the news is telling people go shame, and then I don't know if I think it was New Zealand or Australia. Anyway, it was someone with an accent, and they were I don't know which one it was.
Was it the French?
No.
Oh, okay.
But they were saying if you witness anyone behaving in ways like dissent, like are they speaking ill of the government? Are they spreading misinformation?
That's
Are they
right.
doing this? We need to know because they are mentally unstable. We need to know. We need to go get them. Like what?
Do you know what?
What?
How is it that we live in a world where someone who has a critical thought, and it's not to necessarily just say, oh, this is my theory, everyone should believe it.
Right.
But just to have a skeptical thought, a critical thought about any topic is considered crazy. What?
Yep.
What? How can we live in that world? But we do.
Yeah.
We do. And everyone's conditioned. Like you heard that old mate on that clip. He's like, I'm a police officer. I was, trained to believe, trained to follow orders. It's like, yep, you and the rest of society, dude.
Yeah.
But we need to stop that shit.
Yeah.
We need to stop it right now because the government doesn't give two fucks about any of us.
Right.
At
So
all.
I give what I give out what I receive. I don't give a shit about them either.
Right.
I do not care.
Yeah.
So
anyways, that was a good clip, and I'm glad to see that the media is actually talking about it now. For whatever reason.
I'm just curious why now? Why are they allowed? Because they would have never been allowed before.
Mm-hmm.
People disappeared for speaking out 2 years ago.
Yep.
So why now are people allowed to say it, but 2 years ago you would honestly just be disappeared?
Yeah. Deleted.
Gone. If you did. Like it's
anyway, it'd be interesting to see what happens with this video as well.
It could disappear as well.
If we're not here next week, don't be so macabre, people. We're on holidays. Anyway, have an awesome day, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.